YouTube, it is I, RainingCardGames, and ooh, it feels good to continue being back into the groove, especially after the latest insane ban list. Mixed feelings about some of the hits, but really happy with some of the returns. Specifically, he's back! And oh, you know, since now that we have Colossus back, we are going to bring the...
Wow, I didn't hear any thunder, but out of your fingers, was that like sparkles?
Thunder. We're gonna revisit my branded Thunder Dragon list that I built some months ago, but granted that was Colossus-less. But now with the benefit of adding the big purple lizard into the deck, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be fun. But in either case, before we go ahead and take a look at the deck, if you all would be so kind as to like, comment, and subscribe, would graciously appreciate it. Also, if you would like to continue to see me revisit some other decks that I have done in the past that are now going to be boosted by this upgraded ban list, let me hear it down below in the comments. I'd love to hear what deck you'd like me to revisit next. In either case, let's go ahead and take a look at what I've cooked up for branded Thunder Dragon. Oh, he's back. It's been so long. But now Colossus, as well as pretty much all of TOS format, is back. So this is now time to revisit Thunder Dragons with a splashing of branded. And this is what we've got. Triple Thunder Dragon OG, Triple Thunder Dragon Dark, Triple Roar. I've upped it slightly. Double Matrix, the one Hawk, and then into our branded Albaz package, we got Triple Aluber, Jester of Despia, Triple Mr. Fallen of Albaz. We got the one Mercurier, we have the one Blazing Cartesia, and then we have our Bestial package of Lubellion, Druis Worm, and then the Magnamut. Triple Branded Fusion, branded Opening for Triple of, one of Branded Lost, searchable, 3 Ready Fusion, 3 Allure of Darkness. So we've added this back in, so you know, we can kind of really take advantage of the Thunder Dragon cards. Thunder Dragon Fusion, Chaos Space, Instant Fusion, and Branded Beast. I thought about the other Branded Regained, but I don't know, I'm flip-flopping between the two. Obviously, probably if it was a more Chaos variant, I would probably have both. Extra deck. We have Garura, we have the Common Area Attack, we have our Tax Dragon, we have a big ol' Lenitus, we have double Albion, we have the Lindworm, we have the Lubellion, Dragostapelia, we have a Predaplant, double Ice Jade, or Mirror Jade, sorry. And then, of course, Thunder Dragon Colossus back at 1. Fantastic. Basically, activate a Thunder Dragon effect in hand, and then we can just remove a Thunder card to tag out. So basically, if I have a Dark on the field, if I have any of these Thunders on the field, except for, obviously, Common Area Attack, I can go into Colossus. Fantastic, easy way to proc out. And we can also hard fusion with Thunder Dragon Fusion if need be. And then, of course, we have Titan, which can either be summoned by the fusion or by actually, you know, hard fusing it. So, multiple different ways to get out both of these Thunder Dragons. And then if we're not tacking into our side deck for today's videos, I generally, unless I'm really keen on it, sometimes I will go into matches, sometimes I won't, but the side deck is really catering to what you're playing up against, locals, regionals, etc. In either case, it's pretty similar to my last list, although we've done a couple minor alterations just to make a couple more Thunder Dragon cards and a little bit more ways to facilitate the Colossus. But all in all, I am super stoked to see how this deck performs. Alrighty, so for game number 1, we are going second, and we are going up against Goblin Riders. I actually really haven't, I think I've only played Goblin Rider like once before ever, so you know, it'll be a fun matchup, especially when seeing that the fact that they've got double Veiler and an Imperm, so this will be a very hand-trapped, intricate interaction between our opponent. They go up into the Xyz Armor Fortress, meaning they can search out the full armored Xyz, which means now they can go into the big full armored rank 7 guy who can basically attach my material, so it's an interesting non-targeting way to remove stuff from the field. I start out with Vanilla Thunder Dragon, activating its effect, then going into Lure of Darkness, banishing my Thunder Dragon Dart, getting me a little bit of extra advantage. I try to fuse away their field using Fall of Allies on the normal summon. That gets hit by the first effect failure. I now try to go just hard fusion with the Thunder Dragon fusion, going up into the Titan. I try to tame Titan, but unfortunately, yeah, full armored Xyz hits the field, and he gets eaten up. But luckily, at least now I know my branded fusion is safe to pop off. And of course, I don't know that there's a second effect veiler, so my Albion gets hit. I now try to go for a Druis Worm, and I can tag out for a Lubellion, and luckily activate the effect of Druis Worm in Graveyard, getting rid of one Xyz monster. I try to go for the Lubellion, but then I get hit by that Imperm, so we've already now eaten all 3 of the hand traps. I can at least hard fuse into the Alba Lenitus and clear the board a little bit, and try to, you know, just deck thin a bit and hope that I can draw potential out on the Crackback. But we are in a very dire situation, considering the fact that the full armored Dark Knight Lancer is gigantic right now, and my opponent can literally just build up a board with enough points on damage for lethal, even if somehow my Alba Lenitus survives, which it does not. But it's okay, we just have to dust off that loss, and now we get to go first. We open up with Branded Opening, and we go into our branded lines, and we are going up against Yubel. So this will be interesting. I have to kind of be tricky and see where I use the destruction effects, but granted, I do not know that I'm playing against Yubel, so I'm just setting up to the best of my ability, going with the Branded Fusion. Albion was going to go ahead and banish my materials, going into Lubellion. Lubellion's going to discard one of the added Thunder Dragons. Great card, at least adding those Thunder Dragons as discard fodder for the Yubel, so we can at least have a nice Mirror Jade onto the field. We bring out the Titan, and we bring out a Colossus, and we search Druis Worm in the end phase. Granted, we don't have material for the Titan, but we can at least wait on the Crackback. Typhon hits the field, dealing with my 1 fusion, but luckily I can still protect my Thunder Dragon Colossus from being destroyed by battle by banishing a Matrix. Matrix will add itself in the end, so that way I'll have some fodder for Titan on the next turn. We draw Chaos Space, which is interesting enough. I go ahead and activate Thunder Dragon Fusion, adding myself a Thunder Dragon. A Luber goes ahead and adds. I activate Branded Fusion, and my opponent scoops. Game number 3, we are going up against Gishki. This is going to be interesting. I start off with a Branded Fusion, going into Lubellion. Lubellion pitching the Blade and Cartesia. We then go ahead into an Albion. Albion's going to go ahead and banish out the Thunder Dragon Dark, so that way we can go into a Dragostapelia. So we'll have 1 form of interaction. I go an Instant Fusion to Kaminari attack. Kaminari attack gets me out the Titan then, and we'll have 1 Dragon Matrix in hand as a Potter. So we have 2 forms of interaction with our opponent, so not bad, but it could be better. They go for the Candle. I'm going to negate the Candle effect, preventing that search of a Ritual spell. Unfortunately, they do have one, but they pay a lot of life points to bring out the new Gishki Retrain. They go Forbidden Droplet for my entire board. Interesting choice. I'm fine with my Titan going to the graveyard. I go ahead and Dragostapelia, try to proc out some interaction. They go ahead and negate, but that means now their field is completely free, and all I have to do is hard fusion into a Thunder Dragon Titan, switch Lubellion into attack mode, and I win. Game number 4 is going to be a good old callback to Toss format. We are going up against Sky Striker, who now unfortunately have a full playset of Engage, which is worrisome. But luckily we were able to get out a Mirror Jade, so we'll have some form of interaction. Magnum Mutt is going to banish the Thunder Dragon Roar, which will get us out a Dark. Dark is going to then tag out for a Colossus. Colossus will then go ahead and sending the Dark, we'll grab a Thunder Dragon Fusion. We can get into a Titan, so we'll have some very big sticky board presence, and we're going to grab a Druis Worm in the inevitability that we're going to lose some monsters, because right now I can't summon. I probably should have summoned one of my fusions to the extra monster zone, but oh well, slight misplay on my part. Hayate goes in, luckily we take no damage, but they still get to start off with their plays. I have no way to interact. My goal right now is to make sure I get rid of Ray, so that way I can, you know, potentially prevent any tagging out of their Lynx monsters. Luckily, they're going to afterburners the Colossus, but now that frees up my space for my Druis Worm. so I can prevent any tags out. So it comes back to my turn. I draw a Lubellion, interestingly enough. I try for Thunder Dragon Fusion, that gets hit with the Ash. I now go for the Lubellion, getting me a free search of Jewis Worm. Jewis Worm is going to take care of that Ray, so at least we don't have to worry about the tagging out. They go ahead and they Widow Anchor my Mirror Jade. It's alright by me. I'm going to go ahead and switch out, get my Branded Beast onto the field, and we're just going to clear out the board a little bit. In the end phase, Lubellion is going to get me a Branded Fusion, and we get our Mirror Jade back in hand, so hopefully we'll be able to make something happen. Drones then goes up into a Kagari. Kagari is going to go ahead and add back, and guess what? They're activating Sky Striker, Mobilize, Engage. We're going to clear their field, not having to worry about any rays in the graveyard for any tagging out. They Pot of Avarice basically for free at this point, recycling all the Link monsters in their graveyard, and guess what? They go Engage again. This card is so good, it's insane. They activate the field spell Yugioh, and then boom, here comes Ray. I love Ray! Anyway, Hayate hits the field, they go ahead and excavate, and they get nothing off the top. They Widow Anchor once again, my Mirror Jade. Alright, we're just going to keep them off the Ray at all costs. They clear up shop a little bit, but honestly, having an Aluber is to the graveyard. It's not the worst thing in the world. They go for a Zeke so they can deal with my Thunder Dragon Titan. That's okay. Aluber comes back. I try to negate, but they just go ahead and tag out into a Shizuku, but luckily, one small little quirk of Yugioh Pro, they were just playing out their timer, so luckily I have a time limit win, and they set the parameters for this game, so that's fine by me. Luckily though, I think I had enough advantage to push eventually for lethal, considering that I dealt with all their rays, but I'll take a time limit win, happily. The final game for today's episode, or video I guess, we're going to start off with a Lure of Darkness against Snake Eyes. So this is going to be fun. We actually go double Allure, getting us a little bit more advantage, although unfortunately we don't have the best draws off today, so I have to banish the Magnum. I kind of wish I would have had that in hand. So I had to kind of tweak my lines of it. I ended up going for the Tax Dragon, so we'll see how much work that can put in, and we can still go up into a Titan, and we will be able to have a little bit of fuel for us, and we go ahead and just set the Branded Beast, bluffing something that we have. They go ahead and normal summon the Poplar. Poplar is going to go ahead and they're going to have to start paying those 600 life point tax. Unfortunately, though, the Sinful Spoils of Subversion is going to go ahead and put that in the graveyard. Now, during a long time, I decided maybe I can pop this, but they have a Call by the Grave for the Matrix regardless, which means I am unable to chain Titans. So the Masquerade is going to stay in my field zone, and even if it's hopefully some way I can get it into the graveyard, it can bring itself back. Unfortunately, that is not going to be the case. They go ahead and they crash into my Albion, and we go ahead and just activate the Branded Beast just to make sure we have it online and avoid any interaction on my opponent's turn. There with the Yubel start setting their spell and trap zone, they bring it back out into the field, so I'm playing the two Yubels. We go ahead and try to go once again for the Fallen of Alabaz's hard fusion summon. That ends up getting negated. We have a Druis Worm on field, which we're going to go ahead and use by utilizing Branded Beast. We can get rid of the field spell, preventing that activation. We go into Branded Fusion into Albion. Albion's going to banish up, going into a Mirror Jade, and luckily, that is actually lethal. And that's going to do it. Actually really pleased with how the deck goes. More so than the branded section. I'm actually more just stoked to be playing Thunder Dragon again. Now, with that being said, I think maybe it's time to revisit a more pure, like more chaos Thunder Dragon variant, or who knows. I mean, it's time, maybe just tinker around with different Thunder Dragon variants now that we have Colossus back. But would you guys be interested in seeing some of that? Let me know down below in the comments. But in either case, that is going to do it for this video. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will catch you in the next one.